Hello everyone, this is Steven from the Even Steven channel, and today is my 1000 round review of the HK P30L V1 in 9mm. So this is just the box I was using. I was using this larger box because I could fit the HK P30 and a bunch of magazines in it. So we have the HK P30 unloaded. Take out all the magazines, the magazine loader. Nothing special about this box. It's kind of a bigger case that I can put a whole bunch of mags into. Just convenient for me. So let's throw these magazines over here. Magazine loader. Some magazines. Try to make it look nice. How many magazines do I have? Something like that. Some ammo over here. Dress things up. And we got the P30L V1. So this is a gun I've had for a good amount of time. Put some work into it. Now I do have kind of like a first impressions / unboxing video about the P30L. And if you want to see what's in the box and maybe a more in-depth look at the features, you can go look at that one. This is kind of like the 1000 round review. However, I will briefly go over some of the gun's features. Bottom to top, let's typically do, we'll start with the magazines. These are 10 round magazines for New Jersey. I believe the standard capacity is 15 rounds. I think they upped it to like 17 or 18 rounds. HK figured out how to squeeze a few more rounds in here, but I think when the gun first came out, it was a 15 round magazine. You see this is kind of shortened. This is shortened like that. So this is 10 rounds. And I think the magazines are pretty good, pretty well made, a little expensive, but I think the magazines are fine as far as I can tell. We'll move up to the grip. The HK P30 has removable side panels and back straps. So the front here is always the same with the 3 finger grooves, but you can shrink and enlarge the back straps and side panels as you want and customize it. You can mix and match. You can have a smaller one on here and a larger one on here, or maybe for a right-handed shooter you might want a larger one here and a smaller one there. It gives you little options there. It's fine. Hammer. This is the V1 trigger, so the hammer is kind of always recessed. The hammer cannot be cocked. It's kind of that light double action only. There's the full double action. There's the light double action. Typically you're always running it in that light double action mode. This is the LE version, so that just means it comes with night sights and one extra magazine. The sight picture on this gun's a little hard to pick up, honestly, because you got the, let's see, you got the white tritium here. You got, sorry, the camera, you got the white tritium. I have a little trouble focusing. How's my doing there? You got like a white dot inside the yellow dot, and I feel like the camera's not focusing well on this. Let's see, how do we get a good shot of this? I feel like it's not picking it up very well, but you got basically like a green circle and then a white tritium dot. And I just found it a little bit difficult to pick this up, and I wonder if it would have been easier to use just the standard luminescent sights, the cheaper sights this gun comes with. I feel like maybe that would have been easier to use than these night sights. Night sights are always cool, but how practical are night sights? How often are you going to be using a gun when it's dark and not have a weapon light? Save maybe, oh my god, my TLR1's not working right. I think I'm using the batteries. This has come up in a few different videos. Save maybe concealed carry gun. Got slide serrations in the rear. Just take the magazine out. Slide serrations in the rear, slide serrations in the front, pretty good. Slide release. These are the short slide releases. The standard HK P30L comes with the slide release, comes all the way back here, and that caused some problems where the slide would not lock open when it was empty. It seemed like there was too much weight pushing down, keeping the slide release down, and I found it easier just to put in a short slide release. Again, just whatever that is, half an inch shorter. And that seemed to be let the slide lock open more reliably. Slide releases on both sides. Magazine releases on both sides. This is the paddle magazine release you can see right here. This is, I think, is a 4.5-inch barrel, and we have, let me just take this off because that's not doing anything right now because either this light is broken or it needs a new battery. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 position Picatinny rail, all the Picatinny space. Nice squared off trigger guard, and the gray guns. So not only did I have the gray guns straight trigger installed, I had the gray guns short reset kit installed. So that improved the trigger a little bit. A little bit. And at this point, I have now put just about 1,000 rounds through it. How do the guns shoot? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Not great. Not great. Start with that. Not great. So let's start. Is it an accurate gun? And honestly, even though this trigger is probably as good as can be, and it's relatively fast. You can do it one of two ways. You can go like this, slow down, and go like this, or you can go like this. I find it hard to get good long-range accuracy out of this. That is the accuracy past 10, 15 yards. Once you get to 20, 25 yards, I have a hard time making the size of groups that I think I should be able to make. I don't know, it's me. If you watch this channel, you've probably seen and you're watching this video, you've probably seen the Honest Outlaw and how well he can shoot this gun and what distance he can shoot it well at. I don't know, I just have trouble shooting this gun at distance. On top of that, I've also had some reliability problems. Really? Yeah. When I first got the gun, I said I had the standard length slide release in here, and the problem I was having was the gun wouldn't lock open when it was empty. You know, the last round would be fired, the slide would reciprocate, the magazine follower was supposed to push up on this, but it just wasn't doing it all the time, and it just seemed like the weight of this slide release was keeping it down. So I installed the short slide release. That seemed to help. Then, let's put it up here. I'm just going to take this pin out. You don't have to take this pin out, but sometimes it just falls out anyway, so I'm just taking this pin out. Then, the problem I seemed to be having was I was getting a lot of oil in the recoil spring. And when I oil my guns up, I tend to put a light coating of oil kind of all the way around the barrel. Just get a Q-tip, soak it in oil, and just put oil all the way around. Do I need to do that? No, not really. It doesn't really... You really put oil in the places where things are rubbing against each other, like here. You see there's maybe a light coat of oil here would be good. Maybe a little bit of oil here. But it seemed like if any oil that was down here was collecting in the recoil spring and getting it all full of gunk and dirt. And once I kind of realized maybe that was the problem, and I cleaned the recoil spring out really good as best I can to put less oil on the barrel and less oil in the gun in general, the gun seemed to work better. Now today, I went to the range and had a bunch of different guns. And let's see what we got here. Come on, go in. Why is that not going back in place? There we go. And I was shooting this 115 grain Blazer ammunition. Now, this has been sitting around my basement for a while. I don't know if it's gotten water damage. I don't believe so, because I shot this with a bunch of other different guns, and those guns all ran it. This is 115 Blazer. It's probably not a particularly hot load. Probably not. And I had like, out of like 200 rounds, I had like 12 stovepipes. Like 12 stovepipe failures. And the failures I was getting was very strange, where this is 38 Special. It's not the correct thing. But basically, I was getting this malfunction, and it's hard to replicate because the way it would happen is, come on. Might be easier to lock it back. Basically, I'll just show you. Basically, the slide would close, and the cartridge would be like this. Now I'm trying not to slam it on this snap cap. Let's see if I could just gently do it. Nope, gonna slam it. It would be like this. Like this. And I have a video and a picture, and I'm gonna show that. Maybe we'll just pause that and I'll show you that now. This is literally the second time this has happened in 2 magazines. HK P30L V1. And that happened maybe like 12 times. So the gun doesn't seem to be particularly dirty. It doesn't seem particularly over-oiled. And it's possible that the ammunition that I was using was a little bit too underpowered for the P30. It's also possible that if I pull out the manual and go through the manual, which I honestly haven't read all that well, that if I go through the manual and really study it, it might say certain things like you have to use 124 grain ammo, you have to use ammo with this velocity. Like, I don't want a gun like that. You know, I don't want a gun that does that. That if this gun is made to run particularly hot ammo, like NATO spec ammo, and I have to buy NATO spec ammo for it to run properly, I don't want it. Like, I don't want it. HK is not new to this market. HK has been around for a long time. HK should understand that if they sell a handgun on the American market, it should be able to run the ammo that most Americans are using. And if I have to use some special 124 grain ammo or particularly hot ammo to make sure this slide is running back and forth reliably, I don't really want it. I wonder if it's a problem with particularly the L model, HK P30L, long slide version, that if I'd gotten the shorter P30, that these problems would be non-existent because there'd be less slide and less mass moving back and forth, and these problems would have been non-existent, but they're there. And for some reason, it happened quite a bit today. So, can I recommend the HK P30L V1 in 9mm? And the answer is really no. No, I can't. And that's very disappointing because I really wanted to like this gun more. I put money into it. I bought the gun. I bought magazines. I bought the short slide release. I bought the straight trigger, the Ghost Guns short reset kit. You know, I bought this gun, which was not terribly inexpensive to begin with, maybe $700, $800, and I put hundreds of dollars into it. And I still leave myself with a gun that I have trouble shooting with, and is not all that reliable as it should be. So I can't recommend the HK P30L V1 on the basis of my example. I can't recommend it for home defense, range use, this, that, whatever it is. There are just other guns that do the same thing for less money, and sometimes better. And that is very, very unfortunate. I really wish I could just come here. I guess I'll put this back on while I'm here. And just rave about the HK P30L V1. But I've had problems with it from the start. Slide release, various jamming problems. And if the solution is that I have to buy super hot 9mm ammo to solve the problem, then I just don't want this gun. I just don't. Anyway, this is Steven from the Even Steven channel. Sorry to end on a downer. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.